All right, everyone. Another barn burner from Brian Cates at Draw and Strike. Gird your loins, fake news media. The month of May is going to kill your most deeply and fervently beloved narratives about Spygate and the General Flynn case in brutal fashion. You use anonymous leaks to push your fake news. These guys use on-the-record testimony and evidence. Barr, Durham, Jensen. Your bullshit fake news can't compete with it. I can't tell you how much I'm going to enjoy watching this unfold. Our narrative about Flynn is still true. They whined louder with ever-increasing desperation. Now check out this Greg Miller son of a bitch. At Greg P. Miller responds to Devin Nunes. Devin Nunes says, clear now that General Flynn was set up by dirty cops at the highest levels of our government. And Greg Miller from Washington Post says, General Flynn was a devoted officer who served his country in 2 wars. But when U.S. democracy came under Russian attack, he undermined government he once served, told Russia not to sweat the coming sanctions. He then lied to the VP, the press, and the FBI. And by the way, he pleaded guilty. That's Greg P. Miller on Twitter, at Greg P. Miller. Just remember that name, okay? Back to Brian. Listen, Greg P. Miller, you still don't get it, do you? Every single federal official you covered for as anonymous source, as they were placing Flynn under suspicion of being Russian agents, is about to be fully exposed. We're not at the fake news media's complicity in this scandal yet. We're at the point where the docs are going public between the corrupt federal officials themselves brainstorming about how to create a pretext to investigate Flynn and get him fired. The documents about these federal law enforcement and intelligence officials leaking to the media to place people like Flynn under suspicion of being compromised by Russia so they could move to investigate him, that's coming later. I dubbed this sordid, circular practice strategic leaking. You have a target that you want to take down for political reasons. You use a leak to the media to drive news narratives, placing that person under suspicion, and then you move to act on the suspicion your own leaking caused. But you're too stupid to admit what's coming. You still think the media's complicity in targeting people for bogus, politically motivated witch hunts is going to remain a secret. Well, you're wrong about that. Nunes got Fusion GPS's bank records over 2 years ago. So no, Greg P. Miller. There is 0% chance the role key fake news media outlets played in launching bogus, politically motivated investigations of Trump and his associates won't be exposed. You're about to have one of the worst months of your entire life this May, Greg P. Miller. Every single rotten act political activists disguised as reporters engaged in to help corrupt federal officials plant bogus stories in the news so innocent people could be targeted and then investigated is going to be fully aired out. Fake news cannot stop what is coming. And all they are going to have is to try to distract from the documentary evidence and the eyewitness testimony that Durham and other U.S. attorneys will bring to court is their usual BS fake news based on ghosts mumbling behind a curtain. Hey, fake news media, I'll even give you a big hint where things are headed on this front. When Durham shows you what all that money he was being given out of the Pentagon's Office of Net Assessment went, you're going to be forced to cover how Stefan Halper falsely accused Svetlana Lokova of being a Russian agent. While you've spent the last 4 years printing whatever BS fake story some anonymous federal official handed you to target innocent people to start political witch hunts, I was working with a bunch of citizen journalists pursuing the truth about what really happened. It's not just corrupt federal officials who abused their offices to target and persecute innocent people over politics. The media people who eagerly and enthusiastically helped these dirty cops to do this are also going down. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.